Welcome to A Girl, a Guy, and a Buffy podcast, Small Bites edition. I'm your co-host, Kate Balzer.
And I'm Charles Swint. So our Small Bites episodes are discussions we had in the main episode that didn't quite fit the overall conversation, but we still wanted to share with you all.
We hope you enjoy these tasty conversational bites. We promise, no angry puppy scars from listening.
Oh, we did this with our, the first part of our seasons, we talked about sort of the missed romantic connections that exist that we wanted to possibly see in the Buffyverse. And so we're going to sort of close things off with a missed connections friendship edition.
Yeah, the friendships we wish could have either been explored more or at all in the series. These were missed opportunities for sure.
Okay,
I was gonna say, what's your first one?
I mean, for me, I really think, and we talked about this kind of in the main episode, but I really like the idea of like a Buffy Cordelia friendship
Oh,
and
yeah.
what that could have looked like, especially knowing who Cordelia becomes on Angel
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that there's so much great, again, friendship, but also tension that can happen because I think they would hold each other like accountable in the same way that she holds Angel accountable when Angel is being, a curmudgeon or
Mm-hmm.
making poor decisions or anything like that, where, Cordelia will call him out for that. I think she would do that with Buffy as well, but I think there's some great opportunities for them to sort of bond and have really great moments where they support each other.
Definitely. I think that could be a really interesting adult friendship.
Yeah. And like a really mature one too, like to be like
Mm-hmm.
this, and a great example of like what it means to really be a friend, right? To hold your like
Mm-hmm.
to be a supportive person, but also hold that person accountable
Mm-hmm.
for their actions and for I think like I I, I would watch that buddy comedy. It wouldn't be a buddy comedy, but it would definitely be a really good story there, I think.
It would be Buffy and Cordy as Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really good choice for Missed Connections Friendship Edition. So one of mine is Dawn and Lisa. Lisa, we see for like two scenes in the body. She's the friend in the bathroom when Dawn is like crying and you think
She's
she
her
knows
black
about
friend.
her mom. She's her one black friend.
Her one black friend.
Exactly. Just the fact that like we saw her with another friend. I just think again, in general, I wish we'd actually see Dawn with friends and
Yeah.
not for an episode, and I feel like because we know so little about Lisa, Lisa's gonna be like a good influence on Dawn, unlike Miss Janice,
Yeah.
who is a bad influence. So Lisa has a lot of potential.
Yeah. And even Janice, though, like, I think, like, we
Yeah.
could have had so much. I mean, who knows
Hmm.
what happened with Amber Tamblyn or whatever. Like, but
Right.
we could have had, like, it would have just been nice to have more
They could have gotten up
stuff
to
with,
more mischief.
yeah, like, it would
And it
have
would have
been
made like
fun.
more, it would have made more sense for like Dawn's storyline in season 6 if,
Yes. I think that would have been a stronger season 6 storyline for
yeah,
Dawn had she gotten into a lot of trouble with Janice and they had like
yes,
fallen into bad stuff. And then Buffy is like, listen, you're already out there. That whole thing about I want to show you the world, all of that stuff
right.
would have resonated much more had we not lost Dawn, but had
Yeah,
like, yeah, 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 yeah.
I agree.
I like
Um,
it.
so I have a little side note trivia on this. When I was
Okay.
looking up her name, because I was like, I didn't remember the character's name because I was like, does she even
Do
say
we
her name?
know?
She has a name. Her name is Lisa. But the actress who plays her, Raven Kelly, I was like, gosh, why does she look familiar otherwise? She is the daughter in A Time to Kill who gets attacked, and she plays Regina Taylor's character in I'll Fly Away.
Oh.
Yes. So she's done
Oh.
big roles when she was young.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of a cool side note.
Okay.
Some Buffy trivia.
Regina Taylor. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Come come through, Lisa. Um, we hardly knew ye.
Yeah. Do you have another pairing?
I mean, we've talked the ones that I'm thinking of, we've talked about before. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a a Buffy Tara
Yeah, to me, that
friendship.
is the one that is missed out the absolute most. And you're right, we've talked about it before, but I could
Yeah,
talk about it forever because I just their connection, actually going back to the body,
yeah.
that scene between them is I love so much. I'm like, oh, why didn't we build on this?
I mean, like we said, like again in the main episode, like going back to like family, like the fact that she
Hmm.
just steps up and is like, "Hey, I don't
Yeah.
really know you, but you seem like like a real one. It's right. I'm gonna do it." There are so many. I mean, think there are so many missed opportunities
Well, and then the
with
fact
them.
that she trusts Tara enough to go to her about her concerns about her relationship with Spike and why she's doing that and why she's
Yeah.
feeling the way she is and what might have gone wrong with the spell.
Hmm.
And that she breaks down, in front of her. Oh,
It's
I
yeah.
love that scene too.
There's so much rich material there that we
Hmm.
don't get to explore at all. So I feel like there's a really missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
How
So
about
one of the
you?
other ones I thought as well, because I had Tara and Buffy in mind, so that was
Mm,
also on my list. But I actually think it would have been fun and would have developed the witch side of Willow more if we had seen more with Willow, Amy, and Michael throughout season three in their coven, and
mm,
not just for Gingerbread.
yeah.
It would have been more interesting if Gingerbread was like the culmination and they fall apart because of what happens in Gingerbread, but it would have been awesome to like see them throughout the season, even if Willow isn't telling anyone else that she's doing this with Amy and Michael.
Yeah.
It would have been very interesting to explore that, especially when she has like Buffy and Oz telling her to be careful with the magic.
Yeah.
I think that would have built up that storyline about her hubris and her like also like playing into her insecurities, and how she falls deeper into the magic and the dark side of magic.
Yeah. And just exploring that a little bit more with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. And then it would just given us like another like great character to have because I think Michael could have
Hmm.
been like it was such a we just again just someone else to like add into the mix of like
Yes.
um people who could have like maybe potentially come back later on or something like
Right.
that. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's a good one. Jonathan and Larry.
Interesting. Okay, say more.
Here's the thing, right? Picture it. Sunnydale. It's host Larry coming out, but also like kind of after like Jonathan's gone through his thing during Earshot sort of
Hmm.
situation. We've got like like it's a world in which like maybe Jonathan is being bullied a little bit or something is
Hmm.
happening with and like Larry steps in,
Hmm.
and protects them and then they like become friends and they like develop a friendship that shows us that like straight and gay people can get along and and maybe Jonathan wouldn't have been so rough in Superstar maybe like but maybe that would have taken away from Superstar maybe that would have had he had like an actual friend or
Hmm.
something like that. I just wanted more of Larry, really. I think like
Yeah,
again,
agreed.
like I think we had such a missed opportunity with him. Like I think he was underutilized.
Agreed.
In the series, I would have liked to have seen more of him. I think, and maybe something with Jonathan could have been a fun pairing. But
Yeah,
Larry
I could
and
definitely
anyone else,
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I know we've talked about wishing Larry was a part of the gang more. I think that would have been awesome.
yeah,
Or they could have, brought him in more in season four if they hadn't killed him off.
yeah.
He could
Or
have
the
gone to UC Sunnydale and,
Yeah, I wish they hadn't killed him off. Or they could have done a thing where he, even in season three, they could have like again, they weren't ready for it, but there could have been like a situation where he like I know like it was nice that he like felt accepted and like he kind of did something like that, but there could have been some stories of him being like struggling with that or and him
hmm
going to like maybe someone like Amy or someone like Willow to be like, hey, like do an anti-gay spell or something like to like sort of just explore that theme of like I want to change who I am, but you can't change who you are because you are who you are, and that's amazing. And like there could have been that kind of storytelling of, you know, this like pray the gay away, but it's not
Yeah.
that, making that
Yeah.
sort of parallel.
On the flip side, it would have been cool if he stayed comfortable with being or continued as he was being comfortable with coming out and feeling accepted, and then gone to UC Sunnydale and helped Willow with
Yeah, and helping
her
Willow
coming
coming
out and
out.
acceptance.
And then she goes to him and is like, hey, so this thing is happening. And then they could
Yeah.
have had an
Yeah.
adventure
And like, am
together.
I reading this right?
And then they could have
Yeah.
gone on
That would have
double
been really cool.
dates.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
Larry ends up with Andrew,
See,
and then they.
oh no, that's so wrong. No, 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 no. No, it turns out that no, no, no. It turns out that Eddie is gay, and so he and Eddie hook up, so we still get Eddie, and he's Larry's boyfriend. We're done. And Pedro Pascal becomes a permanent part of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Come on. We get early Zaddy. Like, what's wrong with that? Speaking of male friendships, that is would be another one of mine. I don't have anyone specific in mind. I kind of think I would actually want maybe a new character, but a friend for Xander. He needed a male friend. I
Oh,
mean, he also says that often,
yeah.
but I do think that would have been great for him to have like a guy friend who's not caught up in maybe
Mm.
all the supernatural stuff. Maybe it's somebody he meets through work on the construction, and they,
What about what's
but
his name from Older and Far Away? His friend from work that he
oh,
invites
oh, the one he
to
tries to hook Buffy
hook
up with.
Buffy up with.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it could have been.
I mean, also, again, I go back to Larry. Like, I think that would, like, what a cool,
Yes, for
honestly, it would
sure.
have been like a great thing for Xander to have a
Yeah.
gay male friend so that it,
Yes.
takes away, like, it sort of it takes some of the sting out of
Mm-hmm.
Xander.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if he had a, like a guy friend who was gay and they were like
Yeah.
palling around and he could like sort of see the error of his ways through Larry. Because when Larry
Mm-hmm.
comes, like after Larry comes out, he's like, "Come on, dude! Like,
Yeah.
you got to get it together." Like Larry really is like, "Dude, I know it was dick. I'm making up for it right now."
Right. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
again, like Larry makes amends for everything that he does, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, "I made mistakes, and I realize why I made mistakes." And I think he could have shown Xander a very similar thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's a good
So
call
basically,
there.
Larry,
We need
we
more
needed
Larry.
to insert Larry Moore into the show. That is the conclusion of this discussion. It's all about Larry.
It is all about Larry. Are there any others? Do you have any others?
And like we talked about in the main episode, I think it would have been cool. I mean, we kind of talked around it with Larry and other people coming into their world at college, but it would have been cool for one of the storylines again to be about friendship and not romantic partnerships in college.
Yeah. I think yeah, I mean it makes so much more sense, especially when they go off to college. It makes so much
Yeah.
more sense for them to.
Giles could have used a friend. That
Giles
he
definitely
needed some
needed a
adult
friend.
friends. Yeah. Like it would have been cool if he hooked up with like he was playing his guitar at the coffee shop and some, people came over. I don't care if it's male, female, like we're talking to him and be like, "Hey, yeah, we have like a small thing we do every once in a while. We play at like the bars around town." Like
Giles joins a garage band.
not a garage band, but like, maybe plays classic rock, but like at a like, bar every, other weekend or something. Like one of my cousins, her husband like does that. It's not his day job, but he and a bunch of friends, play play gigs. I'm like, why not?
He's
And
playing
then it
the
would get us
he's
more
playing the
singing from
bronze over
yeah, get
here.
it. Well, maybe not the bronze.
They're
A
not
little
big
more
enough for the
adult.
bronze.
A little more adult.
I mean,
Um,
Amy Mann is playing the bronze. Why can't Giles?
well, yeah, that's true, but yeah, I just don't see Giles in a band playing at the bronze.
Oz played at the bronze.
Yeah, Oz fits. That fits. I see it.
I
You
guess they're
don't
more adult contemporary.
Well, I
But
mean, he's like he was doing classic rock, but I'm just talking about like there needs to be like adults only, not teens and college students
oh, well.
in the audience is what I mean.
Well,
So,
there's no
but
place like that
he
in Sunnydale.
yeah,
Adults don't exist in
yeah.
Sunnydale.
Well, yeah, that's part of the problem. But yeah, Giles definitely needed friends, you know.
I mean, I kind of wish we had gotten more like Giles. I wish we had gotten an episode with Giles and Ethan Rain at that was like a little bit more friendly, that didn't
Hmm.
have them necessarily like adversarial,
Hmm.
but had them like genuinely working together and
Hmm.
being, friends or something like that, or at least maybe seeing like a little flashback or something more with the two of them. Because I really liked Ethan Rain as a character, and I think it's like seeing the two of them sort of. working together
Yeah.
in some capacity.
Yeah, I could see that making sense in season four. And the two of them kind of using the being the traditional method to standing up to the science and technology of the initiative in order to
Yeah,
help stop them. Like I could see them being on a caper to like get more info or I don't know, do a true spell on Maggie and get the details of what she's up to or something.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't like solve the problem, obviously, because you need Buffy at the end to do that. Like it wouldn't,
yeah,
they wouldn't be taking down the initiative, but I could see them having doing something to get her information. That would be helpful
yeah.
in the end.
Or even like a little smaller big bad or something like that, or a
Yeah,
smaller
that's true
like
too.
thing that like they that Buffy gets incapacitated in some way, and
Yeah,
they sort of join forces to make it work. Not unlike the episode that they did,
yeah,
but not in the sense where where he double crosses him at the end. I don't know, but
right.
like his one good deed that he does.
Yeah, well, just like the romance, definitely a lot of missed opportunities with exploring other friendships
Yeah,
in the series.
yeah. I mean, I know we talked about the Andrew and Anya of it all. I know we've discussed that before. Like
Hmm.
that, I mean, we see some
Oh,
of that, but that could have been
you just
uh,
reminded me. I would have loved to have seen more Dawn and Andrew,
Dawn and
particularly in
Andrew.
season
Yeah.
seven. Like when he's like, "You're a peach," and she's like, "Thanks."
Thanks. The potential's there. Um,
Yes, they would have been such cute friends.
I wanted to see Faith and Chowan. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
That's that's the that's the one that I really want to see. Like I could see Faith just like rocking it out with Chowan, and Chowan is like, "You are insane."
Yes. Okay, non sequitur, but
I don't know. I think Chowan was the underrated Slayer. I think she gets a not a bad rap because I think people like Chowan. I just don't think I think they sort of
oh, she
I
was used poorly for the
yeah,
joke.
she's used poorly for the joke and not as like as someone who could be a potential, like who really is like a kick butt potential.
Yeah, she's not developed as a character. She's
Yeah, she's used for the butt of a joke. And so, I
right.
mean, I think making like, but they used her so much as a butt of a joke that it was like, why not just develop her as a character?
Yeah. Yeah. And even though it was supposed to be like making Giles look stupid, it did to a degree, but she was also made to look stupid
It
and
just
she
makes
shouldn't
her,
have been. Yeah, it
yeah,
was so poorly done. Yeah.
it doesn't quite, it doesn't fully land the way
Yeah.
that they want it. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it, but
Actually, you know how I could see that working with her and Faith? This would be kind of cool. Like, that Faith, and I forget did Sean speak Mandarin
I think she, yeah,
or
or
okay,
I think
or
Cantonese. I think
Cantonese,
it's Cantonese.
and he knew
He knew
Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's how it worked. Yeah.
so it'd be like funny if like Faith met somebody in jail who taught her Cantonese, and she like randomly has this new skill and can like talk to Chow and communicate
I
with her. I think that would have been so awesome.
I think it would be funny if like if she's the only one who can speak to
Yeah, yeah,
Chowan
yeah,
and
yeah.
they have these inside jokes about how
Yes,
stupid everybody else
yes,
is.
that would have been awesome.
That's hilarious.
Now that is funny and not culturally
Right,
inappropriate.
inappropriate. Like they're totally, yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
I love that. Okay, I'm totally on board.
Here we
Faith and
go. Woohoo!
Chow
Faith and Chowan.
totally there.
The team you didn't know you needed until now.
Exactly. Okay, who's gonna
Until
write the
now.
fanfic?
Oh no, I'm ready. Let's go.
I love
Maybe it'll
it.
be in the new series. Actually, it won't be. We know that Elijah
No.
Dushku won't be back for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Small Bites. Let us know your thoughts about the episode by leaving a review or rating us wherever you listen to your podcast.
You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at A Buffy Podcast and email us at abuffypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.